Hello, hello, hello. Whew. Welcome, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome to another segment of Owning My Story with your girl here, favorite. Yes, with your girl, favorite. Yeah, I remember all along I used to call my name, I used to know my name as favorite. And now these Americans have made me start calling my name favorite. Yeah, favorite. What's your name? Favorite. Favorite. Yeah. Okay. Favorite, favor, or whoever, however you know it. Yeah. So yeah, I want to welcome you guys back, and so yeah, I feel so refreshed. I was supposed to be in church today. I'm yeah, in a group. I joined a group during the pandemic when I wanted my spirituality needed some energization. Is there an English like that? Energization? Okay, when my I don't know if there's an English like that, but please spare me. Yeah, with the pandemic, churches being closed and everything, thank goodness, I had an opportunity to join a group called Young Adults in a church that I connect so much with. So for some reason, last week I remember I wanted to be part of. Okay, the group meets periodically. I wanted to be part of the group, and then it rained all day. Unfortunately, also today, I planned to also be part of the group. It also rained on top of that. I worked until late, so kind of a little bit disappointed, but I like no. Um, Whatever it is, even this what I'm doing right now is God's work. I also have my laptop here in front of me. I have deadlines to beat. I have deadlines to beat. Both at work and then for personal stuff. Because your girl here is an SDG. She deals with in SDG sustainable development goals. Okay, she does so many different things. Yeah, so I have deadline to meet concerning that, and then yeah, but I was like, so thanks so much for everyone who gave me feedback about the video that I made concerning moving on, the difficulties of moving on. And guys, trust me, this journey is there's so many of us who are struggling with that. And with that being said, we had to come back with part two part two of moving on, and this part two is mainly children's edition of featuring the children's part of it. And I may not be able to go into it in depth because my experience or my knowledge that I'm going to share may not delve into it in depth. But yeah, it's like I said, at Owning My Story, we are here to own our stories, however good, bad, and ugly, but most importantly, learn from our experiences and work on how we can be better. We can do better as individuals, for ourselves, for our family, for our friends, for our careers, for us. Okay, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. So yeah, on the children's edition today, which is what we're looking at today, I remember talking about moving on and how difficult it is. I mainly shared it, though it wasn't even in depth, about the struggles us as our single fathers or single mothers face in in the pursuit of moving on, how challenging that is. And maybe for some of you, your experiences may be different. Like I said, I'm just sharing my own experiences. If you relate with it, well and good. If you don't, sorry, right? Sorry. So yeah, on the children's edition, um I've said like there are different dynamics. Always, every dynamic has its own challenges, has its own issues. So one of the dynamics that I'm familiar with is, like I said, it's my own story of yeah, finding myself in a situation where my mom and my dad, like I always said, it was a one night situation. Everyone went their way, a child comes in between, and then of course a typical Lubara family is, okay, who are you pregnant for? whatever, that didn't work at all. That didn't work out at all. And I remember I've shared in my previous videos before, I didn't know about my dad, or I didn't see my dad until when I was like 10 years old. So which means that's a different dynamics, because by the time I was meeting my dad at 10 years, of course I had no idea of where he is, as in terms of relationship and everything. So I think I was open-minded as a child by that time, if I remember. Sorry to interrupt, I have my grapes here. I'm going to keep snacking on it as we keep our chat going. So yeah, sorry about the effect of my chewing. Yeah, so yeah, so that being a different dynamic, because I came into my dad's life later, later in life. Probably he had already moved on, or I think by that time he must have been in a relationship which was progressing into a family or kind of situation. Details I don't know, but I'm assuming. So I think in that dynamic I was coming open-mindedly. And secondly, the impression that I'd gotten concerning from the hearsays of the stories surrounding my mom and my dad, like I've always said, first of all, there was so much anger on my mom's side and her entire family, like to the extent that I'd already had so much in a way. It was not, there were not nice, pleasant things being said about this dad of mine and his entire family, literally. So because of that, the relationship, there was actually no relationship between these two families at all. At all. Like I said, I remember sharing, in my previous videos that I was actually we were actually, my dad's family, my mom's family, actual family is very close to each other. Like part of my dad's family, like actually every day that I was going to school, I was actually passing near my dad's family on a daily basis, but I didn't know. No one mentioned it to me. They probably, I'm told, they knew. Actually, now they tell me they knew I was their child. But now I think, basing on how terrible that relationship played out when the pregnancy story came up, of course everyone was reserved about approaching or bringing up the issue on the table. So I remember it was until my mom opening up and allowing me to interact with my dad's family was when now everyone embraced me. But before that, like I said, before I made 10 years, there was no conversation about my dad's family. I was meeting my dad's people on the road or randomly. Even we do fetch water from the same source. Markets, you do meet in the market. You do, like, it's even less than a 3 kilometer distance, I think, probably. I'm not so sure. I'm not good at distances, but yeah, it was that close. But I never knew they were my family. I didn't know. No one told me. But everyone knew. My mom's family knew. My dad's family knew. But how to bridge that? So it was that tough. So it was until my mom herself opened up, and her mom opened up, you guys. My mom, all of you know, people who know me, people who have been close to me and my family, knows my mom is HIV positive, something we're not ashamed of, something I myself am not ashamed of, and her herself, she's not. Also, we say that to anyone who cares to listen. So there was this project called the Memory Project that was launched in the year 2009. Okay, I don't know, 1990 something. I'm old, so yeah. So when this project was launched, I think the idea of this project was that, hey, these people are now going to die. So before you die, you need to put the head of your children straight. Okay, this is a complete Lugbarra translation. Yeah. So you need to put the head of your children straight. You need to like leave them when you finally die, or when you go. You need to leave them on a proper foundation or proper caretakers. You need to assign them. It's more like a will, writing a will, but this one was specifically, it's called a memory project, where you have to dig into the children's family, who is going to stand for them when you're not here, kind of situation. So actually, I'm a pioneer of that memory project. I think it was being implemented by TASO, the AIDS support organization, by that time. Yeah. I think that's one conversation I need to have with my mom, because I got to know my dad's family all thanks to that memory project that was launched to help to okay to, it was to support the people living with HIV to be able to yeah just when so that when they go the children don't have to suffer behind them here, so they should be able to entrust their children into people, okay, people they can trust, they can entrust their children to, something like that. So all thanks to memory child project, there's what they call a family tree that you have to draw: father, mother, like grandfather, great grandfather. So that's how the story of my dad actually came to play, and that's how I got to know. So, like I said, um, so coming to my dad's into my dad's life, okay, my dad coming to my life or wherever, um, I should say, me coming to my dad's life, for me, that dynamics kind of played differently because, like I said, and I had a very strong desire, I don't know, a deep desire to get to know my dad, to get to be in his, to get to be in his life, to be a part of him. Like, you guys, I don't like, I don't know how to break it down, but that was how serious it was, to the guys, to the extent I did each and everything to try to get closer. I literally, if I'm to look back, to be honest, I think I literally abandoned my mom's side of the family completely. If it was up to me, because trust me, guys, people who know my family into details knew how terrible, how tough life was. Absolute poverty, like we're in the extreme end of poverty, where like if you're there, you have food to eat, it's a blessing kind of situation. That was my mom's side of the family. By then, life was hard, guys. Hard. So sometimes we would eat leftover, what we call in your paw, as lunch in your paw. That's if it remains of yesterday. You come and eat as lunch. During mango season, my grandmother will go early morning to go and collect mangoes from people's mango trees, and then you come and wash it at lunchtime, eat it, and then go back to school. That was how tough it was. So when I thought my dad, finding about my dad was the best thing that happened to me. So I didn't have the bitterness of, oh, okay, what it is. So, and then shortly after that, I got to meet my dad's wife. I don't know, by then she was already a wife or she was a girlfriend, I don't know, but I like the feeling I had was, oh, this is my mom now. Like, I was so open-minded. I remember so well, so open-minded. I think I was so open-minded until when I finished P7. I performed so well, and my expectation of what, I don't know, putting the effort to pass P7 very well was, you guys, people, nowadays people go to Kampala. Can you imagine you go to Kampala in the night and come back the next day? Kampala those days in the late 1990s and early 2000 was like heaven on earth. So knowing that my dad lived in Kampala, in Entebbe, because they used to say the state house is in Entebbe, right? My dad living in Entebbe, oh my God, you guys, those dreams, I could have those dreams. So I was so excited, so excited to want to be able to reach Kampala. And my dad is a teacher, a secondary teacher for that matter. So I was like, oh, okay, if I do well, was okay. Let me first go back a little bit. In my subconscious, I think most of us believe that, okay, up to today, I don't know what the perception about teachers today is, but then teachers, like, we had so much respect for teachers. We feel like they're academicians, they are too serious, they don't want nonsense, they want you have to pass, you have to, these are expectations I set for myself, you guys, stupidly. I didn't set for myself without consulting even with this father of mine, without, yeah, like, I know, knowing, I think since he's a teacher, I have to do well, and if when I do well, I'm going to be with my father. But I don't know why I was thinking like that, because you guys, I used to wet the bed. I used to pee. Okay, I don't know if it's a pee or susu on the, not the bed. Okay, I used to sleep. I slept in papyrus mat all through my young years of primary school. My first time I slept on a mattress was actually in Moni Girls when I joined senior one. That was the first time I ever slept on a mattress. Was when I joined Moni Girls. So before Moni Girls, I was sleeping on papyrus mat. I lived in families where there was actually mattresses, but I couldn't sleep on it. Like, I used to wet the bed, like I said. So I don't know why I thought I was going to make it to Kampala with my bed wetting. So yeah, but I was so open. Okay, the key point I'm trying to make here is I was so open-minded to be a part of my dad's family, with his wife, with his children, and everything. I didn't have any reservations. Things came to take a left turn for me was when I passed senior P7 to go to secondary school. And then I was taken to Munigas against my choice 100%. Okay, in my mind, what if I was to study in Arua, it had to be Mbara SS, not Munigas. For some reason, we didn't like Monigals. We used to make fun of Monigals. Hey, how could I put on a dress in primary and then go and put on a dress in secondary? Aguaka, Kikoi. We called all sorts of names. Little did I know I was going to end up putting on that Kikoi, that Aguaka, that everything. Little did I know. But it happened, right? So when that happened, and then just having to see how people love their children. I remember when we joined Muni, visitation day was actually every first Sunday of the month, I think. First Sunday or whatever. So there would sometimes be 3 visitation days in a town, and people would come for their children, guys. People would come for their children. And then this girl of yours here, no one comes. I don't know why I thought getting that first grade in P7, I don't know why I thought it was like going to make me be treated like a queen or princess kind of thing. When that did come forth, guys, things took a left turn for me. I remember, I think that's where everything about the character, the devil, the evil in me just rose up. You guys, I wrote a letter for my dad. That was in 2005 now, beginning of 2005. I wrote a letter for my dad because I joined secondary. They will send me home for school fees, and I know my dad's like first child, first born. Like, I don't know, I had too much expectations. And then of course the notion comes down to, we have heard of evils of stepmothers. So the first judgment came to, this could be because the woman he's with is not my mom, kind of thing. I wish I could get a copy of that letter. I'm being told that letter has been kept, and I honestly, sincerely hope that letter is being kept. If that letter is being kept, I'll be the happiest. I want to read the emotions of a 15-year-old Favor. I really, 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 guys, I really so much would want to read how I felt, the pain or whatever frustration feelings I had at 15. I poured my heart out in that letter for my dad. You guys, I don't know where I got those balls from, but I did. And that letter ruined my life for the rest, has ruined my life since then till today. It ruined my life. The perception of people had about me, everything. That's how I ended up never ever stepping in my dad's house, never being a part of that family that I desired so much. You get? Yeah. That is story for another day, and that one is still something we are yet to also handle. God willing, and I promise myself I'm going to have closer on that part with the people involved. All my prayer is God should keep them alive so that we can have that closer. Yeah. So that one is it. That one is that. But the thing here, like I said, for me, having coming into that family of my dad at a later stage, not I was coming in it with an open mind, but because my needs, I thought as a child, were not being met, it still brought issues, which up to today has brought issues it brought issues between me and my dad. It brought issues between me and his wife. So blending me in that family hasn't happened up to today. And then even blending me and my siblings is, I want to be honest, we don't have a relationship. Those guys don't even know me. My siblings don't know me, by the way. Sad but true, they don't know me. So that is how complicated that aspect is. So which means the movie, yeah, him as he moved on, had his life, yeah, but then me as a child from a previous relationship or from a previous situation didn't end up being blended in that. And reasons, we don't know. Okay, we have had the conversations already, but yeah, that's like another thing of how hard it is, moving on from a previous relationship, and how the effects can be if it's not handled, that moving on situation is not handled so well. Then another dynamics is now situations like us, what we are facing right now with like children, with our children, my daughter specifically being in this scenario. For my daughter's case, to be honest with you, if I'm to be honest with you guys, is that girl, because she was born in her father's house. she saw mom and dad together. She saw what it meant to when I'm playing here and mom is there and dad is there. She saw it. She witnessed it. So for that to be taken away from her has come with quite a challenge, and that's how many of our kids are. They came into the world when, in most cases, mom and dad are there. Mom is here, dad is here, you cry. Even a baby sees faces, and then family realizes those faces. So right now, most of our kids are like that. Maybe there are those where I give birth at my mom's home, but then every now and then dad comes around, and like the dad and mom, like you're interfacing these people, which is a different case. It's another circumstance that I'm trying to explain. So in this circumstance, it's also a very tricky trend. How for my daughter, how I see it playing itself now is, for sure, like I see how like when she joined school, I saw how she would draw, she would draw herself. Okay, she'll draw mom and dad. She'll say that is me. She'll even call me my mom. This is mom favorite. This is dad. Says the dad's name, and then she draws herself. She draws her siblings. She draws her two brothers, and then everyone holding hands like this one happy big family. She would draw it, and she was drawing this when even the situations between us were already, because when she joined school, actually, when we were already literally not technically not together, though we tried forcing things here and there, but it wasn't really working the way it should be. And then whenever there's someone wedding, like you guys are going for a wedding, and then she'll be like, "Hey, mommy, when are you and dad wedding, by the way?" And she'll say those things to her dad too. I remember the moments when because she used to, at least even when our relationship wasn't going well, she would have time to spend with her dad sometimes. So she'll ask the dad, "Hey, when are you like her drawings are mom, and like if that girl gets a pen or a pencil or anything to draw something, it's mom and dad. Mom, me, dad, her dad." So she doesn't see anything where mom and dad are not together. That is her ideal world, So I don't know if to this date if she has gotten it, that okay, mom and dad are not, like, there's no future for mom and dad together. I don't know if she gets it, but I'm looking forward to having that conversation. But I think she got it finally when I had someone who really got interested in me and showed interest to get married, and came home, and came and faced my people after the first person who actually came home after my marriage failed. And I have so much respect for this young man, because hey guy, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And so he came home. So my daughter was fully, okay, she's seeing these things happen. Of course, this person has come to ask for mom's hand in marriage. I don't know if I don't know how she digested the whole thing, but I would hear her making comments like of course they will only say those things to me, but she'll be telling my mom, "Oh, by the way, she likes so and so, she likes this person." What else? Like, like, oh, so and so is going to my dad. Yeah, that. So I see she is, but I don't know how she has digested. Okay, okay, now my dad is not going to be in my life. Now there's this and other dad coming in the picture. I don't know how she has digested that whole thing, but yeah. So that is, but like, one thing I know is she wished, her wish was for me to be with her dad, So which means, and in most cases, children like that who see only you with their father or you with their mother, they may hate this new partner of yours that you're bringing into the picture for no good reason, guys. For no good reason, not just because all for them in their head it's, I want my mom to be my dad's wife. I want my mom to be the one here, and then they hate this other woman of yours, however good she may be. However good she may be, they can not just like her, even for the same thing, if they want their father to be the one with their mom, and then there's this man here who being around their father, they may not like this man, and that not liking can come in form of disrespect, not listening to him, or not just even opening up to conversations or building relationship with him, which can really also be very, very challenging, you know. So one thing I've learned now is that to to open conversations. I'm trying with my daughter, but because we are in a distance, we have a distance between us. She's in a different place, I'm in a different place. The conversations are very, very hard to have, how as open as I would wish for us to have. But what I'm looking forward to is for us to be together physically so that we can have these conversations, and be for me to be able to address her fears of, okay, explain to her why me and her dad are not together, but not in a negative way. Make it not sound negative, like be like, you know what, Tata, you know what, okay, I love you so much, your dad also loves you so much too, but for adult, like reasons for adults, which you'll understand when you grow up, you know, when you understand when you grow up, you'll really get to understand when you grow up why we didn't work out with your mom, with your dad. But that does not stop us from loving you, from loving your siblings. Like we love you and your siblings just the way everything is. But even if we're not like having those conversations with her openly, and then asking her, for example, if let's say she doesn't like my partner, let's say if she has those fears of, okay, not wishing for my partner to be her in my life because she sees me with her dad only, kind of situation, and then ask her why does she feel like that, then be able to address those fears of hers, for her to get over those fears or those feelings she could be having against this person. Whether if they're genuine, yes, how can we fix it? If they're not genuine, how do, like, I'm looking forward to those conversations, you know. And you guys, if we can do some of those things, hearing our children out, how do they feel about these people we are seeing, or how do they feel about the dynamics of maybe now us going transition with another person in our lives, like those feelings. By not knowing, we may judge them wrongly, but if we get to hear them out, I think that can help us, eh, very seriously. For example, just have a conversation with them, honest conversations. I know it's quite challenging because one part, maybe there's the mother, you could be having these conversations with them openly and what, but then maybe the father is saying something else contrary to what you're saying, which brings confusion. Either way, also as a father, you may be honest with the children about what actually the issue is, why you two are not together, in a good way. But then the mother is also telling them something else, or other people also telling them something. So it's a very, very complex road to take. But like I said, we can do different. Most importantly, we can do all these things together, you know. Mother incorporating the children into our lives, likewise incorporating our other partners into our children's lives, like, you know. So that's all that I had for us about this episode. And the next episode, we're going to be talking about how these other partners can help to make this blend easier, or to make the situation easier. So that's it. That's what I had for us for today. And please, if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe. Let's grow this young channel together, guys. I can't ask for that enough. Let's grow this young channel where we share experiences, we share knowledge on how we can be our best selves, for not for ourselves, for our family, for our careers, and live meaningful and fulfilling lives. So yeah, please, the best way to support us is by subscribing to this channel and sharing it to the family and friends. If one or two people can relate to this, I'll be the happiest. Love you.